Hey there, this is Veronica here. Alright, so I was looking at your final exam because I know we're a little bit behind in your class. So I'm trying to pull out the things that will be on your final exam. One of the things on there is going to be graphing, which part of it I will not do until we return to class. It is a bit harder, whereas the other part is pretty simple. We should have done this back in algebra and geometry. So we're going to go over that and start with that this week. Basically, on your exam, it's going to give you 2 points, and it wants you to find the equation in slope-intercept form, and it wants you to find the y-intercept and the x-intercept. So the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is when x is equal to 0, and the x-intercept is when y is equal to 0. So a couple things you need to know. Slope is equal to rise over run. And when they give you 2 points, you figure that out by doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If you're not already, make sure you're taking notes on this. You will need this. We will have some sort of assignment or quiz on this on GoFormative sometime in the next day or two. So make sure that you are getting this completed. Taking your notes to use as a reference, watching the videos thoroughly and completely. There will be an assignment at the end of this video for what you will do today for homework. Alright, so let's do a couple example problems. So let's say that they give you the points -5, 2, and say 1, 3. Alright, so first and foremost, you want to find actually say 0, 3. Okay, so we have 5, -2, and 0, 3. All of these will give you some sort of intercept as it is when they give you the points. So first and foremost, let's find the slope. Slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to say this is x and y, and this is x and y. I'm going to say this is my first point, and this is my second point. Now we're going to plug it into the formula. So y2 is 3, y1 is 2. Alright, and then my x2 is 0. My x1 is -5. Don't forget, subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding. Alrighty, so I have 3 minus 2, which is 1. And then I have 0 plus 5, which is 5. So my slope is going to be 1/5. Sometimes it'll give you a whole number, sometimes it'll be a fraction. In this case, it's a fraction. So y is equal to m, which is slope, 1/5. X plus b, which is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is when x is 0. If you look at this point, we have x is 0, so the y-intercept is going to be 3. The y-intercept is where that line crosses the x-axis. Crosses the y-axis. The x-intercept is going to be where it crosses the x-axis, okay? It's where it intercepts the axis. Alright, so we have that. Now we're going to find x-intercept, and we're going to find y-intercept. From the point they gave us, we already know the y-intercept is 3. And then x-intercept is going to be when y is equal to 0, so I'm going to set this equation. I'm going to bring it down here. But instead I'm going to say that my y is equal to 0. Now we're going to solve for x. Alright, so the opposite of plus 3 is minus 3. Minus 3. These cancel. Let's go back to algebra. So 0 minus 3 is -3. Alright, so now I multiply both sides by 5. Which gives me 1x, or just x. 5 times -3 is -15. So x is going to be equal to -15. So basically all I need to know is three things. It's going to be 1, the equation, 2, the x-intercept, 3, the y-intercept. As long as you can provide all three things, you're all set. Let's try it with one more problem. Let's say you have 2, 5, oh, those are really similar. Let me change that down. Let's do like 7, -12, and 0, 14. Okay? I'm going to say this is my x, and this is y, and this is x, and this is y. This is my first point. This is my second point. So first, find the equation in slope-intercept form. So y equals, first find m, y2 minus y1. So we have 14 minus -12 over x2 minus x1. This becomes adding. 14 plus 12 is 26. 0 minus 7 is -7. You cannot simplify, but that negative sign will float to the top. So we have -26 over 7x plus b, where b is the y-intercept. In this case, x is 0 already, so my y-intercept is going to be 14. So we have our equation set up. That's the first step. Second is x-intercept. The x-intercept is when y is equal to 0, so y is going to be 0. It equals the equation above. And I'm going to solve for x. So I'm going to subtract 14 from both sides of the equal sign. These will cancel. Alright, so now -26 over 7 is being multiplied by x. So I'm going to do this the shorthand way, so I'm going to divide by -26 over 7, which will cancel these. Your negatives will cancel. So you have 14 divided by divided by 26 over 7, which we're going to do keep, change, flip. So I'm going to multiply that by 7 over 26. So I got the imaginary 1 here, which is going to be equal to x. This can become 7, this can become 13. So we have 49 over 13. It's going to be equal to x. So that's going to be your x-intercept. So we can come back to the top. Say this is going to be 49 over 13. And then 3, your y-intercept, which is already given to you from the points above. So it's going to be 14. Alright, so all you're doing is finding those three things. I really hope this video is going to help with this. It should be a refresher. You should have learned this before. But yeah. Any questions, feel free to email, call, or text. I think text will give you the quickest response. My phone number, if you don't already have it, you should. Alright, your assignment is going to find the three things. So find the equation and find the x and y intercepts. You can do that with the following points, alright? Let me pull those up real quick. And again, this is stuff that's coming off of your final exam, so even though it doesn't really seem to be directly correlated with pre-calculus just yet, it will be. So make sure you're getting all these done, please. There'll be a total of 10 of these. Alright, so again, don't forget, find the equation in slope-intercept form, find the x-intercept, and find the y-intercept. At some point, I will put this up on GoFormative, and I would try to, and let you guys know through Padlet if I do or don't. That way there's a way for you guys to submit your answers without having to send pictures of homework and stuff. So let me know if you have any